What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. We are back for another round of the Race Spec F1 Esports Pacific Series Tier 1 here on the PS4. We're here for round number 7 here at the Canadian Grand Prix. 35 points as the difference in the championship leaders between Zach Crichton and X Revolution. Mercedes has still got an advantage over Ferrari. Overall for us, we're P11 overall. So also there's the squad championship standings. Williams are now back 5 points behind Alfa Romeo and P4 there. So yeah, obviously if you've seen the last video around Monaco, and if you haven't seen it, even though it's probably a short video, then go check it out. Yeah, things at Monaco did not go great, let's be honest. I was really looking forward to like racing around on the streets of Monaco, but yeah, fair to say the game had other ideas. I don't actually know whether it was the game or my internet or something. I just don't know at that point in time. So, I mean, you probably heard then in that video as well. I was still I could still hear, I think it was Crossy's voice in the background at Monaco, but yet somehow, yeah, I just can't work it out. But anyway, we move on. We've moved to Canada, obviously. Again, you'll be hearing a few voices in the background. You probably have been hearing a few voices in the background since the start of this video here. So again, Elgato and on the PS4 is very, very different compared to what it is on the Xbox One, where I only just like have to change a few settings on the Xbox and I can put the party chat in or not. But on PS4, you don't really have a choice here. But we're sticking to ball here because this is actually my fastest lap of the qualifying session, and you'll probably see why once we come through here. We go at the moment provisional pole with an 8.953, I think it is. Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, 9.33 I should say, before X Revolution goes and sets an 8.2, I think it is, on after that flying lap. So I mean, he was really rapid around at the start of this qualifying session. He might be able to continue it on later on. But if you want to know who's in the party chat for this one, we've got my teammate Toddy. Obviously, got to have my teammate just so we know what the hell's going on between us. We've got Zach Crichton's in here as well. We've got Plebs. We've got Crossy, I think's in here as well. I don't even know what the heck that sheep was. I think Aaron's also in here as well. If I've forgotten anybody, I sincerely apologise in advance. But I might have forgotten some. 40 maybe as well. I keep forgetting 40 possibly. I don't know, but you'll be able to hear it anyway. So, but anyway, we go out again for another run here. We're going to go on the medium tyres. Now, this is sort of a backup plan just in case my final row, which I was going to go start on the soft compounder tyres. Just in case, this is sort of a backup plan. As Plebs, so you can hear in the background, he's actually getting really, really nervous here because there is talk of a little bit of wet weather here for the Canadian Grand Prix, and he's going for literally a ridiculous setup here. He's literally gone a full wet setup. Now, I think usually around Canada you want, sort of a lowish, not quite very low, but a lowish setup. You obviously want to have like a little bit for the corners, just in case. As you saw then, our first run on the mediums was in a validation, but second run here, I'll get back to that in a second. It's a second run. I think I just broke too early coming through turn 6 there, and that, just pretty much ruined my run there. So, I mean, I could have gone for another fly if I wanted to, but yeah, I think it's usually about 2 laps you want to do, usually on the medium tyres anyway. And I did tried doing a lap, then a cool down, a lap again, and then a cool down, but in the end, it didn't quite work out the way it does anyway. But he's on board here with Very Lazy Towel coming through turn 3 and 4 and hitting the wall then, I think, on the right-hand side. May have got front wing damage.
That's why I can't
but managed to just get away with that at all. But you see here at the current moment, X Revolution still leads the way. I think he's got a pretty handy margin there. I think Crossy is in second place at the moment there. But we're just waiting around here for the moment.
Oh, hey, Roscoe, didn't know you were in there.
Reckon 2.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I missed
Yeah, same, mate. I didn't realise where Roscoe.
Oh, yeah, that's the other one person I forgot to mention. Swaggy was also in this party chat as well, but yeah, that was a bit of a funny moment there when literally I had joined the party. I can't remember who set the invite back then. It might have been Zach. I can't even remember off the top of my head, but they literally did not even realise that I was in the party chat till like 15, what was it, roughly 15, what is it, hang on, I've got to work my maths out here. What was it, 18-minute qualifying session. I don't usually do this on the go here. 18 minus 13 minutes in, that's what I'm trying to think. 13 minutes in to the qualifying session, or roughly 13 minutes in. And then they realised that I was actually in the party chat, probably when I started speaking. So, yes, I was in the party chat at this point in time, lads. So, there you go. It's anyway, we're back out again on the soft compounder tyres. And this was originally what I was going to set on this tyre here, because we'll probably see it when we get to the race strategy-wise, because the rain is sort of a bit, who knows, really, when it'll turn up in the race here. So here we go, coming through, flying through into turn 3. Like I was saying earlier as well, you need a lowish setup around here, but you want to have a little bit for the corners, but also you want to have a bit for the straight line speed, I would think. I'm not really the expert around here, but I think Zach Crichton and Spilly had a bit of a moment there. I think Zach was maybe taking a bit of the blame for that one, but then I think Spilly just sort of crashed into him in the end there, so obviously not too happy. But you saw then we validated our lap time, and that was very weird at the time, because if you saw my first lap coming through, I think it was like the turn 9 bit, I ran wide. I might have like lifted off the throttle maybe a little bit, but it was still valid. But this lap, it just wasn't in the end. But we went purple through sector 2, tried to fly it over the final chicane, but it obviously cut the corner, which probably wouldn't have mattered too much anyway. But we sit at a 1 minute 8.2, I think it is. Hang on, where is it here on my notes? 8.241. As 40 jumps himself into the second place there on the medium tyres. And I think he's probably the first guy that's the fastest on the medium tyres. There's no Revolution. Well, again, like I mentioned earlier, he's just rapping, and he went even quicker. He set a 7.8, I think, for pole position here at the Canadian Grand Prix. But we end up P8 in the end. Now, this is just pretty much realistic here. My teammate as well was in P10 as well, but this is realistic. But had I set the proper lap time, which would have been, I'll probably show you here, it was a 1 minute 8.247, I think it was, like I mentioned. That would have put me on the front row of the grid. Hit or miss maybe if I lost about a tenth or so coming through the final chicane, obviously, then it probably would have been still on the front row. But there's the race strategy you can see on your screen here. Now, it's a little bit up in the air, really, because it's saying that the weather, it's overcast at the moment, but the weather is literally going to get worse here. So, and again, I point out, there is a mixture of guys that are on different tyre compounds. So, I think Revolution, I know myself, on the soft compound compounded tyres, there's 40, I think, well, Plebs is definitely on the medium, so is Jay Schmidt. There's quite a mixture.
You just get fixed at track and hit someone.
On track within 5 minutes time. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
And literally, I was getting a weather update on the formation lap here, and I think I let the lads know as well. It's literally, we've about 5 minutes to go.
Love if it starts raining as we get on the grid.
No.
Just imagine.
Crossy has literally pulling predictions right as we come to the start line. But it would be weird, actually, had we actually had started, come to the grid and the rain had started coming down. We'd literally be all in the pits come the end of lap 1. But we're pretty much all set. So this is going to be very, very interesting for sure. So here we go. We're all set for round number 7 here at Canada. 5 red lights. Let's do it around the Circuit Shield Villeneuve, and it's a pretty decent start off the line here, but we literally can't go anywhere. Sort of like boxed in a little bit with Crossy in front and Plez on the inside there. As Crossy and Plez go ghosting through each other there. But again, I think that's mainly to do with my internet connection, not theirs. As Toddy, I think, got a little bit sideways there. We go side by side with Jay Schmidt at the lock up. There's a little bit of contact with me and Schmitty there. Managed to just get away with it. I don't think we've got any front wing damage. I think that was Aaron's voice, just trying to give you the hurry along a little bit there. We've dropped one spot already off the starting line. I'm trying my best, Aaron. Give me, just patience is the key. It's only lap 1. But anyway, we cut to the end of the lap. There's Plevs going to the inside of Crossy. I think Zach's trying to make a move as well. Virtual safety car has now been deployed. I think there was an incident behind, from what I could tell, Zeffy, maybe Zeffy by the sound of things. We'll get a replay of it. And I think somebody was saying, I don't know who it was in the party. It might have been Swaggy saying maybe someone should have gambled for the intermediate times, but I don't think anybody has taken a gamble. I think only reason there's probably a couple of guys that have come in the pits for front wing damage. But anyway, we're back racing finally about into turn 6, about turn 6 I think it was, when the virtual safety car pulled away. But yeah, just checking it on the tyre wear. It's not too bad at the current moment here. But, I mean, if it stayed dry the whole race, the strategy was going to be a 2-stop around here, because sort of a bit of up and down whether the 1-stop or the 2-stop is the preferred option. But seeing as the wet weather's coming, literally it's thrown up in the air at the moment as we somehow set the fastest lap of the race. But again, it doesn't last long, because I think there's a few guys that go a heck of a lot quicker. I think it was a 14.7 we set on our, well, literally our first flying lap, you could say, I think it was. So, but we're sitting literally comfortably in P9 at the moment. Nothing is, it's just keeping it casual here at the moment. We get the DRS just in front of Jay Schmidt, as the rain has, I think, started to come already. So it literally did not take long here, as someone's actually come into the pit lane. That's Zach Crichton, I think, he's come into the pit lane. I think he has as we said, a 12.5, I think it was. 12.948, that's better. As you can see, the rain's starting to fall down here. We'll stick aboard here because the wet weather, I think, is about to come down pretty heavily here. As I think, Zach Crichton's coming in. One of the McLarens has definitely come as we get our second track limits warning there. So I think Zach's taken a big gamble here. And I tell you what, as we're coming through turn 6 and 7 here, we are really, really struggling. Schmitty's up the inside of Plevs. I've got my teammate just alongside me here. Now this is, as we get our strategy change here, as I think we're going side by side here, I had no choice here but to go straight ahead through here. Now, this is sort of critical here, because I want to, like, if you're the leading car, you obviously have pit priority. DRS has been disabled. We lose a spot to Aaron, but then lock it up big time and nearly slam into the rear end of Aaron, and we lose a bunch of spots. So Banana Cake Pie's gone straight up the hairpin. The F1 Hawk, it is literally coming down at a rate of knots here. Probably not quite similar to what happened in Singapore, but literally it is coming down. And, well, at this point in time in P12, I was furious, because we're going to pit, obviously. I think everybody else is just going to come into the pit lane here, but I had no idea what the heck was going on there. So there's look at there's everybody. There's double stacking having to go on here, but worst thing for me here is we're going to actually have to double stack as well. And I was literally, yeah, you hear Toddy, I think, apologising to me, but he didn't really need to apologise at all. It was just all my fault, my doing there, literally. So if I hadn't have locked up, if I had taken a precautionary through into turn 10, I probably would have still been ahead of Toddy at the time. But with the mistake I made and where we are after all that with double stacking, we're P17. And pretty much a big gap behind to Dr. Dre, who's the next car up the road here. As we did change the front wing a little bit as well, changed it back to 3, I think, for the wet weather conditions. Here's a replay on board from the start. This is on board with Plevs. You can see there's me, just a little bit boxed in there. Not these guys' fault at all. Not saying that those guys had any fault doing that. It's just literally could not go anywhere really. So it's you see those two going side by side here, going into 3, 2 and a 1. He don't really go. They managed just to get away with that and jumps himself into P6 as Zach Crichton is trying to go have a battle here with Robbie Alonso. He is now in Plevs going side by side. And I think Plevs is going to get the job done. He does. Romy is also on the soft compounder tyres as well. Actually, a decent qualifying did Romy. But it can't be further on to the hairpin here. Crossy, this is actually what happened. Crossy tried to go around the outside of the hairpin, but couldn't quite pull it off. And there's a virtual safety car, obviously came out at that time as well. Here's a replay a bit further back from P17 with Very Lazy Towel. Is I don't know. Hard to say about what happened at the start there, but it goes up the inside here. I think that's banana cake pie there, but might be just taking a precautionary here. And don't be alarmed if the steering wheel's not moving there. There is actually a setting there where you can actually like turn off the movement of the steering wheel, which it seems weird, but apparently it's a thing here. As he's on board here with Zeffy. You know, it was battling alongside one of the racing points, I think it was, and then oh dear. Oh, okay, and then gets a bit spun around there. I want to say that's a little bit of lag, because I think Zeffy's from Indonesia, potentially. I don't quote me on that one, but yeah, I don't think the lag was very helpful there. As there's, oh, look at that. The Lazy Towel did a very nice job to avoid it. Yeah, he did a very good job to avoid that, I'll give you that. But as he's right behind F1 Hawk.
I don't know where he is.
As yeah, F1 Hawk's really got some really bad internet issues by the looks of things. He's red Xing on Lazy Towel's screen. As back we go with Plebs here. Might be under attack here from Crossy going down to the turn 1. As I think, yeah, the DRS would be open at this point. As there goes Crossy up the inside and gets the move done. This is literally, I think, before the track just got a little bit more greasy and a little bit more wet. So, this was the McLaren that actually came into the pit lane. That was Lazy Towel. So he was another one that I think decided to take a little bit of a gamble. There's Zach, obviously, has come in and pitted and put on a set of intermediate tyres. And is Lazy Towel putting on the inters, and away he goes.
It's very quick.
He's just going to rejoin here just ahead of Toez. Well, he was, I think, at that point, but just ran off the road. And in the end, did lose the spot to Toez behind here. But back we go with Plebs. You can just see the conditions struggling. Everybody was struggling. There was J Schmidt going up the inside there into... Well, had a look going into for turn 8, but obviously backed out of it here. You could just tell how they're struggling through here. As I think Schmidt's actually going to get a run here, or he might have got a little bit of a tap there going into the hairpin. Look at the lock up here. I think everybody's struggling. So it wasn't just me or a couple of others as well. There was quite a few of us that actually struggled into the hairpin there. So you could, the conditions really got really wet very quickly. As there's Toez sort of cutting the corner there. I think ceding the spot there to Lazy Towel in the end. But he's on board. Back we go with players into the pit lane. Now have a look at this. I don't think that should be happening, to be honest. Now, I don't exactly know which of the Ferraris was actually held up. Might have been 40, I don't know. But looked like he may have had a little bit of glitch there, and somehow his teammate, it's either, I don't know which exactly the Ferraris was in front at the time, but just going to assume anyway. But yeah, that's a very weak glitch there, and you feel for whoever the Ferrari driver was at the time. Might have been, like I said, it might have been 40. I don't entirely know, as we just glanced the wall there coming through turn 3 and 4 there. And I don't think we managed to actually just get away with front wing damage, I think. I think we might have actually checked it. No, actually, we didn't actually. We got a little bit of yellow front wing damage there. So and you can see here in lap 7 here, I'm not really comfortable here at the moment. I did not put any wet weather practice in. I don't think I did much practice going into this event anyway, but thought it was going to be a decent one until the wet weather showed up anyway. So lap 7, we go back a bit further back to his Lazy Towel and Banana going to have a little bit of a battle here. And I think Towel's got him sort of there a little bit. There's a little bit of a lag.
Fantastic.
Moment there. This is from Lazy his stream, obviously. I'll get my words around in a minute. But yeah, this was from his stream, and it does have a few you could say lag moments there throughout the stream, so don't be alarmed.
Apparently
there's no glitches there, as
okay, no,
I think Towel
no purchase on my brakes whatsoever.
Goes up the, or tried to go around the outside of Banana, and well, originally he did make the move, but then all of a sudden locked up, and you probably heard his thoughts there in the background there, and also lost a spot to a Dr. Dre there in the Toro Rosso. So going side by side through here.
Oh my God, Dre just squeezed me in the wall again. The same.
I mean, a little bit close there. Between those two.
Yo, this is bullshit. This game's racist.
lap 7 here. Crossy saying that the game's racist. He did say that back at Dynamic Nights Esports, back at Britain. I think it was Britain. Yeah, it was Britain, wasn't it? It's, he's still saying that the game's racist. So, I think Bananas just let both these guys go.
Doesn't even make the corner.
As Dre literally goes straight ahead. And I think Tao may have got some front wing damage from that. I don't actually know. As we pick up our first time penalty of the race here. So, literally, not much happened on my point of view at this point in time. We are slowly but surely catching up here. As we lap 10, we finally catch up to someone. That is Banana. As I don't know whether he's what the go is with Banana, but well, actually, I did not feel, like I said, I did not feel comfortable to start with during the wet weather period. But I changed the differential a little bit, and it sort of worked out a bit. It's obviously we got close to him, but then lost momentum through turns 3 and 4 there. But you see, I think that was just an update on Banana. He's got a 3-second time penalty as well. As we have a look up the inside here into the hairpin. Not really quite close enough here. We can just get the drive out of this corner, but I don't think we've got the drive quite here. But may still have a good run here. Now, bear in mind, I'm sort of running a lowish setup. Yes, I was running, I think, 2 6 wings like for the dry, but I think I'm running 3 6s. Someone's got straight ahead at the chicane. I think that's Lazy Towel. So he's still having a few issues. I don't know what the issues were, whether he's still having issues with his brakes or what. I have no idea, but as we come through here, I think Lazy Towel, another moment coming through turn 8 and 9 here, and he's sort of really struggling. He may have actually glanced the wall there. We get very, very sideways coming out of turn 3 and 4 here. But we're slowly but surely starting to close in here as, again, Tao goes straight ahead at turns 8 and 9. But, again, just don't really have the momentum here. Not really close enough here. As I think there's a battle going on a bit further up the road here. Can't see it on my previous screen here, but I think it's a Toro Rosso and a can't work out the other one. It might be a Haas. I don't actually know. It's back we go. Lap 13 here. We're caught up again to Tao, who's again gone straight ahead through turn 3 and 4. So he's really, really struggling. I don't know whether it was to do with the conditions or what, or whether he's having other issues. But yeah, I think it's F1 Hawk, and I think it's Dr. Dre. I could be wrong. Might be Toez. Can't actually tell from this point of view anyway. But here we go back with Plebs. This is, I think it's more focused on the car behind. I think Zach's had a moment coming through turns 8 and 9 and went straight ahead. I don't think he cut the corner too much, but as we get very close to the back end, as Lazy Towel, as I think Aaron's having a few issues. I don't know exactly what, but weather update.
After which we should see a transition to light rain. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
Yeah, it's still very much, well, Jeff's saying it's still Inters at the moment here, as we get a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits there. Probably a little bit harsh there, but anyway. Now, you can probably hear the reactions in the background here. Here's actually what happened here, because I think both Plebs and Zach are having a little bit of a battle here, as they're about to begin lap 14 here. It's a little bit close there to the back of Zach on the Plebs, but Zach up the inside. Tries to go around the outside. Tried to maybe do it over and under, but I think Zach's just got enough in the end and managed to do so. So somehow Plebs are still doing decently with that 6.9 setup that he is running for this race. I will point out, a 6.9 around Canada as we get very close again to the back of Tao. But again, just really can't get the drive out of the corner here. Now, I mean, at this point in time, well, I know Jeff said the weather, here we go.
Man, it is wet conditions right now, but he's not going to gain.
Well, he's saying staying with the Inters, but I mean, I just did not feel comfortable, as I think Lazy Town may have just come into the pit lane here.
As I boxed, just may as well.
Right on cue, there he is. So, and again, there's a little bit of a lag moment here with his stream, so don't be alarmed. But I think he's going to go to wets. Yes, he is. So, yeah, but I like I said, I wasn't feeling comfortable with the conditions as they were, and I think Jeff maybe is maybe a bit on the wrong there. But anyway, there's hello, there's Towers, Rudy NZ coming to say hello.
Rudy just locks up.
To Lazy Towel, but Tao wasn't too thrilled about that one, as we literally have a moment coming through here, and you just see, it's just nothing with this car. I mean, probably more set it up for the dry. And again, I'm no wet weather expert. I mean, some races I'm probably a bit more of a wet weather expert, but others I'm just not here. As we try closing in here onto the other half of F1 Hawk. It's literally, we just can't do nothing at the moment here. We're literally just trying everything we can, but just, I don't know what it was, just getting onto the power, trying everything as we get a strategy change here, I think, for the wets. As I think there's a few guys actually coming into the pit lane as well for potential for the wets here. We'll have a look here, as I think Plebs has got the exact same message. So yes, he's going to come straight into the pit lane here, lock it up big time, and literally, well, I don't think he'll need these inters anymore. So anyway, it's, here he comes towards his Renault pit garage, and onto the wet tyres he goes. Now, again, this might not be a bad strategy course. I think Romeo Alonso's also in for the wets. So I think that the conditions are starting to just get a little bit more heavier around here. As back we go to us. We're also going to pit in at the end of this lap, obviously, for the wet tyres. Just playing it very cautiously through here, and again, even into the pit lane. I already had the pit lane speed limiter on before the pits anyway. So that's anyway. We're going to make our way all the way down here to the Williams pit garage, the last one. Also, we actually have a front wing change as well, but also had to serve the 5-second penalty as well, which was a bit annoying, to say the least. I probably would have been happy if I'd seen the penalty symbol that you usually get when you have to serve the penalty, the time penalty at the pit stop. But anyway, it wasted a little bit of time. We fall back behind Banana again, and we're back in position 18. As I haven't seen Zeffy for a little bit. He's had a few issues with, I think, disconnecting and then obviously reconnecting as well. No, more than disconnections, I think, because he got back in a couple of times and went again. So I think it was more internet, as Lazy Towel gets by Toes.
Time set by drivers on intermediates.
As Jeff was just telling me then that it's better the time setting better times on the intermediate tyres. So that's exactly just what you want to hear after literally one lap that we put on the wets. That's literally fun as we lock up down there in the turn 10 there. So as we get very sideways coming into the hairpin.
He just said intermediate to the right tyre now.
Yeah, he told me.
Yeah, as soon as I heard that from Plebs, I literally just said, I'm going to come back in and go put the intermediate tyres back on. So literally one lap on the wets, and then all of a sudden, Jeff's saying that we're back on the inters. So back we come into the pit lane, one lap later. We're going to chuck back on the intermediate tyres and see whether we can make any gains at all. It's probably highly unlikely at this point in time, as I think Zeffy's just going by as well, but I think we're nearly being lapped. I mean, if the leaders probably stayed out, we probably would have been lapped, but now we're going to have to try and chase after to Zeffy. So I think it's the nearest car on inters, and Banana's first on the wets, the nearest for me. But he's on board with Plebs. This is, I think Zach had already made his pit stop. Here he comes, right on cue. And he's just managed to hang on, just hang in front of Plebs on the wets. As, Jeff's saying it's still the same tyre. So that's exactly what you want to hear as we lock up going through turns 8 and 9. I have no idea why I'm showing you this, but thought it was entertaining.
These tyres are the right ones.
Shut up, Jeff. I'm fucking kidding.
Crossy, again, not happy with Jeff by the sound of things, and I'm certainly not happy with Jeff at this point in time. It's literally, I came in, put the inters on, put the wets on, then the inters on, then he was obviously saying not putting the right tyres on us. There goes Plevs getting past his teammate for this race, which is NBC Alcatraz. I think his regular teammate, Kevin Texas, was missing. So we lock up big time there going through turn 3, and obviously had to cut the chicane at this point. But I think Jeff's really having a mare this race, because literally, I don't know. Literally, you go on, you're on inters for a bit, then you're saying that the conditions are changing. So we go on to wets, and they're saying that better lap times being set on the inters. So, and then all of a sudden changing, well, it changed back to wets. So I can't work it out at this point. As that was Zach getting by Crossy for P5. There's Crossy, I think, sticking it out here on the intermediate tyres. So he's not going to take it. Oh, actually, I'll take that back. He is going to take a go on to the wet tyres. I think Plez was trying to make the move there on him, but in the end, as you can probably hear in the background there, that actually happens. So there's my teammates now in the lane. I don't need it to be told 3 times that my teammates in the pit lane game. But anyway, so we get very sideways, and there goes part of our front wing. So yeah, this race is really going downhill. What started out very well is really going downhill at this point in time as we're getting another strategy change to go back onto the wet tyres. I mean, for God's sake, Jeff, make up your bloody mind. I mean, I don't even know at this point. I mean, I was so annoyed at Jeff at this as we lock up into coming into the hairpin there. We've really lost some time here. We're nearly going to be lapped here by the leaders at this point in time here. And get nice and cautiously through there. That actually didn't constitute a corner cut for some unknown reason. I don't know why.
Oh my God,
but lap 21, we still get the same strategy call. Get back onto the wets. Jeff, I'm not going to listen to you. As we get a warning for corner cutting there. I told Jeff to shut up, but he still wouldn't heed to my warning there. I'm literally going to have to kill Jeff after this race. He's a replay on board with Aaron. You probably would have heard something going on there as he's locked up big time and had to cut the chicane and actually copped a 5-second or 10-second time penalty, one of the two. I don't actually remember there because I think my graphic was I haven't fixed that up yet, so it will be fixed up as it's NBC Alcatraz. It's had a bit of a spin, and Lazy Tail did a very good job to avoid him going through there as we lock up big time into turn 1. Just managing to make it through the corner just at, yeah, literally letting the leaders go through here. And I mean, at this point, I didn't really mind at this point because, I mean, it's only lap 22, I know, of a 35 lap race, but I mean, I was just over at this point. So literally just letting the leading group go through here. Let 40 go through, let Revolution go through. We're going to let, who's the next car? I think it's Zach. Going to let him go as well. I think the next car is Plebs, but we're way down compared to where Zephy is. I think that's the nearest car. As we, again, getting strategy changes from Jeff. I swear to God, I'm going to kill him after this race, like I mentioned earlier. So, yeah, very sideways as Plebs started getting a bit closer here. As I was actually going to let him go here going into the hairpin, but he just said no. It'll get me past here on the casino straight here. So I was prepared to do either way really, but yeah, I mean, there you go. So we'll let Plebs go through there. So I think that's the top 4 of the race. Literally just having a little bit of a moment coming through there again. So it's just getting on the power. I don't know what it was, whether it was just the conditions or what, but it's just nothing at this point. Look at the losing the back end there as we.
MFD for a new strategy option.
Jeff, for goodness sake. You keep saying the wet tyres. For goodness sake, you told me to go back on the inters. Never mind. Romeo Alonso. I was going to ignore Jeff at this point in time. I think I was trying to in the race, but he just kept coming back with change. There we go. Again, next lap. On to the next strategy. Go on to the wets. We get another 3-second time penalty. Not that it matters too much, as we're going to now be going to let Spilly go through here. Now, good thing about this is that is ghosting on, so probably wouldn't have mattered too much here as we literally lock up and go straight ahead here. Somehow didn't get a warning for that either, or a penalty of some sorts. But anyway, we're letting now somebody else go through. A couple here. My teammate and I think Aaron probably. There's Crossy, I think that was in the Ferrari. Hard to tell here from my previous screen, so apologies if I get the things wrong here. Here's Lazy Tail back in for the intermediates on lap 25. So a bit hard to say whether this is the good strategy or not, depending on what everybody else, as Jeff says. But it comes out literally alongside Banana Cake Pie, and I think they're just literally behind. So, and then, oh, that's a bit close there. This is a couple of, maybe one lap later, actually. As I think Banana's trying to do his best to stick on the wets, but Tao just goes up the inside here into turn 3 and makes it stick. So that's P13, I think, for Tao. Weather update.
It's about 10 more minutes of this rain. It's hard to say if inters or wets are better right now.
See, Jeff, still doesn't even know at this point in time what the best tyre compound it is at this point. We're still battling on here with the damaged front wings. So as we go through here.
Hello.
But I thought I'd include that just for Aaron's benefit there. I have no idea what was going on at this point. I mean, these guys are way, way further up the grid. I'm P19 last. As we're getting very, very sideways coming out of the hairpin there. But what is it here? Lap 28 here. I think the weather's starting to improve here a little bit. So that's probably a good thing here. Taking it nice and cautiously through here as yellow flags. There's been an incident, I think.
Did he come on and absolutely drill you?
Yep.
I think Toddy was having maybe had an issue with him to start with. Then Aaron had an issue as well. So let's have a look on board here with my teammate. So he's trying to battle away here with Spilly. Oh, that's a little bit close for comfort there. Don't even know whether Spilly noticed Toddy there, but in the end, Spilly literally cut the chicane. I think came out just in front of Aaron. As I think he's going to lose a spot here to Toddy as well. So let's have a look here on board with Aaron. Gets a warning for that one. But here comes Spilly. Oh man, I mean, what can he do there, really? And Spilly's still, I think, sticking it out on the wets as well. So that probably wouldn't have helped. But there goes Toddy around the outside. May come under a bit of attack here from Crossy as well. But that drops Aaron back to position 10. And he's got front wing damage as well. I don't know whether that was from the contact. Might have been. I think it was definitely from the contact of Spilly, possibly. But he's on board with Jay Schmidt here on lap 13. I think he came in for the intermediate tyres. I don't know exactly what lap this was here. But it looks as if he's got some decent pace. He's going to make the move here on Romeo Alonso here. Now, bear in mind, he's lap 30, or nearly about lap 31 here. So literally going to side by side down to Casino Straight. But I think Schmitty should have this done, and he does. But there's a few guys that are actually sticking it out on the wet tyres to the end of the race. And there's a few guys that have gone for a big punt on going for the intermediate tyres. Now, going by the current weather conditions here at the moment, inters might not be a bad thing here. It's anybody who's on wets is going to be really, really struggling as we cut the chicane here. I don't know why I'm including some of these bits, but because it was just pointless at this point in time. But here's the end of lap 31. You can see Schmitty here. Just look at the amount of speed that he's got here at the moment. And Plebs is still sticking it out as well on the wets. As here goes Schmitty up the inside. He just makes it look so easy into turn 1. So, as I think he was also in a party, possibly with Dougie Falcons, who's giving him different strategy calls as we go lock up into the hairpin here once again. So, we're really struggling here at the moment. Here at this point in time, I just thought, you know what, bugger it. I'm not going to be making any inroads at this point in time. So we just slow it down enough for the pit lane here. So, literally, what do you do when you've got nothing to lose? I mean, I could have just pitted and retired, literally, because, I mean, there's nothing to gain, nothing to lose here, really. So, but what do you do when you have literally got nothing to lose? You try the dry tyres. Literally, I'm like the first gambler. It's probably way, way too early. If the race had continued on for a few more laps, then maybe. But, I mean, I wanted to try something, really, at this point in time. I didn't care whether I finish like a couple of laps down. I probably will at this point in time with the amount of the slower speeds I have to travel and with these dry tyres, and it's still a wet track. So it's going to be really, really struggling here at the moment. Here is all Plebs getting very, very sideways here on the wet tyres. So they might be struggling a little bit here. Here comes Swaggy up the inside here into turn 8, I think this is. Yes, it is. And Swaggy makes the move. So inters may be the way to go here for the latter part of the race. Maybe the wets just don't have enough. So we get very sideways coming This is on the dry tyres as well, mind you, so that's probably why I'm struggling a little bit here. But back we go to Schmitty, who's really, really on a charge here, and Zach's also another one that's sticking it out on the wets here. And I tell you what, Schmitty's going to put himself up onto the podium here at this point. So Schmitty is really on a charge here, and there's still 2 laps, roughly, or 1.5 laps. No, sorry, 2.5 laps to go here. So maybe the race victory might not be out of the question here, as we let NBC Alcatraz here go, and I think we're going to let the leader go here at the moment, which is still 40 at this point in time. So we let him go.
I respect Vicky a bit, man.
You see, 40 is expecting the commitment that I'm doing at this point. I mean, it's worth nothing. Like I said, it's worth nothing, but hey ho, I mean, it's just for pride, really. I don't even really care at this point in time as we get on the grass there a little bit. There's Aaron having a bit more fun there with the pad traction as we go for a spin on the dry tyres there. So that's just fantastic there. But I also want to point out as well, might have been on Lazy Tail's stream as well. I think, can't remember who it was, but somebody was saying that I was actually doing donuts at this point on the track. I'd probably check your facts first before you start making those sort of guesses, really. I don't want to cause any trouble here, but I mean, I could have done donuts if I wanted to, but I mean, what else do you want me to do, really? So there's Jay Schmidt again. He's going to make the possible move here on Revolution, who's also sticking it out on the wets. He's going to have to do it the long way around here. And he might just get it. Yes, he does. So Schmitty is up into P2 at the moment, and the race leader is not far up the road there. So, yeah, whoever it was, I was back to what I was saying before. It was whoever that was saying I was doing donuts. I'd check your facts first, pal. But anyway, back we go to Plevs. He's losing spots. Another spot here to my teammate who's gone on to the intermediate tyres. And he's up into P6, so he'll be scoring some decent points for Williams. As there's been a bit of a drama behind. I think the voice was Swaggy. It's got a puncture as we slam the wall coming onto the pit straight there. Obviously tried to get on the power. Obviously a little bit too much in the wet weather. It's anyway, as you probably heard 40 then. This is the reason why. You see on the final lap of the race, covers the inside line. There's a little bit of contact there. You'd be lucky to avoid front wing damage there, but this is nearly sort of reminiscent of 2011. Jenson Button when he made the move on Sebastian Vettel for the race victory. Jay Schmidt's literally taken the race lead of this race ahead of 40. So this has been literally a master strategy call there from ex-Jay Schmidt. Potentially this could be his first victory in race spec. It's swaggy. Literally having a little bit of swagger there with everyone talking about tyre temperatures. I think Plebs and Zach were complaining about the tyre temperatures, and yet Swaggy was complaining about got a puncture, literally. And this is on the last lap of the race as well. And to be fair, Swaggy was actually in a really decent position. I can't work out which tyre is the one that's got the puncture. It might be the left rear, I don't actually know, but he's going to drop a lot of spots here. Plebs gets P6 of him here, but here he comes through the final chicane. Have a listen to the reaction. He gets the coming across the finish line.
Let's fucking go! Sage! Yes! What did just happen?
I mean, that was just a master strategy all round from Jay Schmidt. Congratulations. That was fully hectic as we literally go straight across the chicane there, get a 3-second time penalty. As Swaggy, I tell you what, I think he was, well, like I mentioned, he was in P6 at this point of the race. Here we go, straight ahead at the hairpin here. And I don't think he's going to actually score any points here. We'll have a look at the final race results when we do actually finish this race, because as we're just letting Lazy Towel just go through there, but I mean, at this point in time, I couldn't care less about the final chicane, so I literally just cut it. Got a penalty for it. Literally just bringing it sideways across the line in style. Probably wanted to destroy the car at this point, but anyway, it's P19. It's literally pointless, really. It's been a shocker race. all around in the end. But yeah, big congratulations to J Schmidt. Like I said, I don't know whether this is his first race win in race spec, but if it is, what a master strategy. And I think probably give a bit of credit as well to Dougie Falcons. I think he was in his party chat as well. Literally, I think must have picked the strategy right and timed it perfectly. So well done to those guys all around there. We'll have a look at the final race results here. So J Schmidt wins the race ahead of 40 in P2. My teammate actually ended up in P3 on the podium. So great work from Toddy there. X Revolution in 4th. Zach in P5. Plebs in 6th. Crossy 7th. Aaron in 8th. Rami Alonso 9th. And Spilly rounded out your top 10. Is outside the 10, Dr. Dre. Swaggy, like I said, he was in P6, but then dropped half the spots in the end with the puncture and finished P12. Toes in P13. F1 Hawk in P14 is just scrolling off. Lazy Towel, Zephy, NBC Alcatraz, Banana Cake Pie, and myself rounding out your P19 cars in the end. So 32 points now is the margin between Zach Crichton and X Revolution there. Aaron is in, P3. Toddy's doing a decent job as well, literally carrying the Williams team at this point in P4, and 40 is in P5. Swaggy's also up there in P6, but J Schmidt rocketed up to P7. Mercedes have a 2-point lead over Ferrari in the constructors standing, so it's very tight. Racing Point, I think, it rocketed up into P3 with obviously Schmidt's win there, and Williams in 4th. Got McLaren there, another 3 points behind it. Red Bull, Alfa Romeo, Renault on 60 points. It's a fair gap back to Toro Rosso and Haas, who've got 2 and 1 point.
What are you ranking
What's the word I'm trying to think of anyway? There's the overall results. So Zach did take the victory around Monaco as well. So congratulations, as my teammate as well did a decent result as well. So he's been on fire lately with the amount of podiums there. So we're still P11. Obviously did not make any inroads whatsoever. So it's you probably tell. I don't know whether the guys noticed in the party chat, but I just left literally instantly there. We're probably saying goodbye. So yeah, I apologise about that one, but I was just furious about this race. But we'll move on and we'll head to the next one, which I think is France. So if you did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. As always, you can leave your comments down below. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Obviously, and also turn on the post bell notification to know when you get notified. For plenty more race spec F1 esports videos on F1 2019, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. As always, all my social media links will be down in the description. Plus, there'll be the links down below as well for the Race Spec YouTube channel, plus their Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook pages. You can go check them out. But yeah, basically, I found a few glitches when I was watching the replay cams. How funny is that? But anyway, until the next one, which will be the French Grand Prix, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.
Constructors and the Driving Championship every year, which meant every race was dominant.